Well Rooted is brought to you by Jarrar and Associates CPAs. With locations throughout Los Angeles, Jarrar and Associates has been guiding entrepreneurs and creatives towards realizing their dreams for over 20 years. Discover how they can support your vision at jarrarcpa.com. Hey, it's Haneen, and I'm back with another episode of Well Rooted. Today, I have a very special guest in the studio. It is the founder of Jarrar and Associates and the sponsor of Well Rooted, and of course, my husband, Samer Jarrar. He is here today to give us lots of great advice and insights regarding entrepreneurship, being a business owner, taxes, finance, investing, all the good stuff, all the stuff we really need to know in order to take our businesses and our brands to the next level. This is a really great episode. I have had the pleasure of learning so much from him over the last 13 years, and I'm so glad that he's here today to share some of that knowledge with all of you. So without further ado, this is Samer Jarrar on Well Rooted. Hey, it's Haneen, and I'm back with another episode of Well Rooted. Today, I am joined by the sponsor of Well Rooted, as well as the founder of Jarrar and Associates. And if you haven't guessed by now, of course, it is my husband, Samer Jarrar. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Especially considering it's tax season. I know you're very busy. So it means a lot to me that you took the time to be here.
Definitely welcome, yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here actually and share some of my experiences with the audience, with your new audience.
Thank you. No, I'm glad to have you. And I wanted you on here like from the beginning, but you were like, let's wait. And so we finally got you on. This was a long time coming. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's just start off with, introducing Jarrar and Associates and kind of why you decided to start your own firm and, what the motivation was behind that.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel there is a gap in the market where small businesses, small growing businesses and entrepreneurs, they're not being serviced well.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask, any of my clients, any of the clients that I met, why didn't you seek help? Why didn't you call a CPA before? Have you used a CPA in the past? The answer is it's too expensive. It's a cost. It's a cost. I don't have the budget for it. So I felt there is a need for a firm to be dedicated in helping small growing businesses and entrepreneurs, where we help tailor the services based on their needs and their budget, where they don't miss opportunities because they're not being helped. Um, I'll give you an example. A lot of the clients, they start the business without even a business plan, without like the goals, and they don't also maybe even form an entity to run their business. They just start the business. They don't seek help or recommendation from a CPA. What is the best structure for my business? And then they don't even do the bookkeeping until it's time to file the return. Now they have to file. They're late on filing, and it causes a lot of issues. So I recommend from the beginning, try to seek help, um, from a CPA. That's going to help you a lot, and that's a great investment.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we decided to start the firm and target these type of clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think like a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, they don't even think of getting a CPA or talking to someone about that until they've actually started the business. But the fact that you mentioned that people should be ahead of the game and actually seek that help in advance will probably save them a lot of money in the long run.
Yes, definitely. I recommend always, before even you start the business, talk to a CPA, whether or at least like a friend who has a financial background or a business background.
Yeah.
That person is going to really help you to avoid costly mistakes down the road.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and something, all entrepreneurs should know and take into consideration ahead of time. What would you say at this point really sets Jarrar and Associates apart from other CPA firms, especially in Beverly Hills when there's,
Yeah,
there's a
other
wealth of,
firms.
of businesses and entrepreneurs and startups. What sets you guys apart?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. To have a successful business, you have to be different. You have to offer your client something different.
Mm-hmm.
So with us, we are in a position to help small businesses because we are a small mid-sized firm. If you compare us to a firm, large firms are expensive. They're gonna scare a startup business. They're too expensive, and they're not gonna give you the attention you're looking for. They're not gonna take care of you. They're not gonna care about you at all.
Mm-hmm.
They care about the bigger fish. If you go to what we call one-man show, just one CPA practicing, that accountant barely have the time to file your taxes on time. They're not gonna have the time to help you build a budget. They're not gonna have the time to help you plan your taxes better. They're not gonna have the time to help you maintain proper books, and not only maintain it, explain it, go over the books. A lot of our clients, they never read the financial statements. They
Mm.
don't know what's cash flow mean, right?
Right.
So, and these financial reports are very crucial for the success of the business. If you don't read the financials, you don't look at the expenses, analyze your expenses, try to reduce your cost, you're not going to make a profit. So our firm is dedicated to help these type of businesses where they don't feel accounting is too expensive. I don't want to
Or
hire an
or
accountant
like too
yet,
intimidating
or too
too.
intimidated as well. So we try to help our clients where we don't have to charge them for every 15-minute conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We look for long-term relationship with our clients. I don't have to build them for the first consultation. First consultation up to like 30 minutes, 45 minutes free. Just come,
Yeah.
educate yourself. Now when they hear you talking, you know they get value. So we look at the long-term relationship, added value, not the immediate 15-minute billing. A lot of firms, you talk to them for 5 minutes, they bill you. Okay, we don't want that. So we rarely bill clients hourly, or our billing is based on a flat rate, added value. Um, so we provide free consultation. The client come and listen, hear, and then they find out, yes, I do need a CPA.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know these services exist. I didn't know that I can afford these type of services. Definitely, I'm gonna hire you to help me to maintain the books. I'm gonna definitely hire you to help me create a budget, a roadmap for my business, so there's no surprises down the road. So I can budget properly, not overspend all my budget in the first month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm running out of money. I'm having cash flow difficulties. So education is very important, and again, you have to treat the clients as they're your friends. How you treat like a friend or a family member. You're not trying to just try to build them. Just try to build them. The billable hour. The billable hour. We don't have billable hours. We just most of our services built on a flat rate.
Yeah. It feels like, or it seems like it's almost like a partnership between you and that business owner
Exactly.
or that entrepreneur, and you're able to sort of guide them so that they can just focus more on their business and growing their business.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. Partnership, because if our client they're successful, we're successful. If
Mm-hmm.
our client they're growing, we grow with our clients. First
Absolutely.
year, maybe we'll bill them $1,000. Second year, now they're growing, they need more services. Now our billing, we make $10,000 from the same client. In third year, $20,000 from the same client.
Mm-hmm.
So their success, uh, goes hands on hand with our, you know, success as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And when are people coming to you? Like when are people thinking like, "Oh, I need a CPA," or let me call a CPA? What are the typical like consultations for?
I would say, don't wait until you have to file. Don't wait until you get a notice from the government, from the IRS, penalty, you didn't
Is
file.
that what people usually wait for?
With people, they wait. They don't think about hiring a CPA day one. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a big mistake. They should seek help from the beginning. Again, even before they start the business, they should go to a CPA. The CPA will help them to recommend the best structure to run their business, legal and taxing structure.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna save them a lot of money. You have two clients. One started a business with no structure, with no entity. Another business did form an S corp, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Both businesses made 100,000. One business that run the business with no S corp is going to end up paying more in taxes, more in self-employment tax. The other business, because from an S corp, is going to save 15.3% in taxes. So significant. So the same profit, one business owner kept more, reinvested more in their business, saved more, but another business paid more in taxes. Just because they didn't seek help, they didn't have a structure for their business. Also, the CPA can help you to create the budget for your business. A lot of businesses, they start the business with no budget, and that's also a mistake. So I recommend always try to hire the accountant first. The most important person in the organization is your CPA, is your accountant, in my opinion. A lot of business owners, they think they have enough knowledge to act as a CPA.
Mm-hmm.
I know it, I can do it. But even if that's the case, you may not have the time to do it. Do you rather focus on running your business, grow your sales, or try to do the books yourself? I am a CPA. I don't do my own books. I have a bookkeeper, one of the staff, maintain, the business books.
Yeah.
I don't do the books myself because I rather focus on building a relationship with our clients, growing the business, take attention, take care of my clients, not, trying to do the books myself, even though I know how to do the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, our client, they come to us for mainly two reasons. Maybe they don't have the skills, the knowledge to do it, and that's great. If they admit that, that's great. But some, they may know how to do it, but even though they don't do it properly, but also they may not have the time to do it. They don't have the time to do it. And for that reason, they don't maintain proper books. You should be maintaining the business books monthly. You should be looking at the financials monthly, if not, maybe every 3 months. But a lot of the clients, they never looked at their finances. They don't. They just look at the bank account. The bank account's up or down, or I am in the red. That's not the way you're going to run a business to grow it.
Right. And I can imagine if you're trying to wear so many hats and, do your own accounting and bookkeeping and budgeting, you're taking time not only away from your business, you're also taking time away from your personal life or outside of business things that you would like to invest more time in. So it's kind of like, why would you
Yes.
do that to yourself,
Yes,
instead of
yes.
just focusing on what you do best?
Correct. You want to free yourself to have a quality life, spend time with them, or, with your family. The reason you start the business for the freedom, because you want financial freedom, but also you want to be able to take a vacation whenever you want to.
Right.
Um, you know, so it's very important to have a life work balance. And if you're trying to do everything yourself, you're not gonna have the time to do all the tasks properly. So it's very important to be able to delegate the tasks and just give it to someone else, not try to do everything by yourself.
Mm. Okay, I really want to shift gears now, and I want you to talk to us a little bit about your roots and your background because you have a very interesting story. I've heard this story several times, but I really want you to share with the audience because it really says a lot about who you are today and the way that you've been able to sort of withstand different obstacles and grow from it and build what you've built today. So tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, yeah. So it's a story of most, immigrants. I am a Palestinian Jordanian American. I was born in Kuwait, never lived in Palestine. My father moved from Palestine. They had to move from Palestine to Kuwait. I grew up in Kuwait, and then after the Gulf War, we had to move again. So it was my first time moving because of a war, but for my family, for my father, my mother, that's the second time they had to move because of a war. So we moved again, and this time we moved to Jordan. I was still, in my teen. And then from Jordan, I decided to come to the state to become a CPA. I wanted to study business. I want to be an accountant. I want to, be able to understand businesses, help businesses. So that's my goal. I want to be a CPA.
And you knew that like from
Yeah.
before you even left Jordan that you wanted
Yeah,
to be
I
a
was
CPA.
luckily good at math. In school, that was my,
That
just
was your
great
thing.
at math, and I wanted to become a CPA. My dad was entrepreneur. He has his own business. He didn't work for somebody. and I've seen the mistakes he's done. He worked hard, but like um, because of lack of educations at the time, there's no CPA. Somebody help you, give you directions. You try to do it all by yourself. And I see my dad working hours and hours, and he because he doesn't have directions, financial education wasn't there. He will lose opportunities. He will make the money, but doesn't know how to maybe invest it. Yes, we have savings back then, back in the days, especially back home. A lot of people believe in like saving, meaning just put the money under the mattress.
Right. Yeah.
Put it on the bank. Just put it on the bank in a saving account. But the fact is, checking saving account doesn't pay you any interest. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
The money is not growing. Actually, in fact, the money is losing value because of inflations. You're just putting the
Right.
money, you're not doing anything with it. It's losing value. So didn't have that education that you have to invest the money, you have to grow it. That's wasn't in their background.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the my dad's generation, especially in the Middle East, they didn't have um, understanding of investments, understanding of credit, because even back home there's no credits
Right.
anyhow.
Yeah.
So when I came to this country, I understand the value of credit, of building a credit, the value of money, present value of money, future value of money. That really helped me to understand the system quickly and help my clients to you know um, create, build credit, maintain their credit, create the wealth, but also preserve it, protect their wealth, grow their wealth. Is not just to put the money on a saving account.
Yeah. So, and that's all because of the experience and the experience of your father growing up and those lessons that you sort of took from watching him and watching him go through that journey of his own sort of entrepreneurship. And it seems like those lessons just sort of stuck with you, right? And then
Correct.
so you came by yourself from Jordan.
Yes.
This is very interesting. You came by yourself from Jordan. Tell us about that experience. I
Yes.
mean, you land in San Francisco, you walk out of the airport, young, like
And what?
20-year-old, and then what? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
actually, I came with a friend. One
Okay.
friend of mine, he got his visa from Dubai. I got my visa from Jordan. We both came together, but none of us has any friends or family members. Zero. We landed in San Francisco, one of the most expensive cities in the United
Mm-hmm.
States. Um, we have, a couple $1,000 each. We rented a Motel 6 for a week. We went, we stayed in a city called Pleasanton. It's up north of San Francisco. And we tried to basically, sit and pass for the exam, the CPA exam. The first, kind of big failure that I experienced is when I came, first of all, to get the visa to the United States from the Middle East, it's really difficult. It's really
Especially,
hard for
yeah, especially
someone
for
my
a
age.
young single
Yeah, someone
guy.
20 years old, go to the embassy, I want to get a visa, like, denied,
Right.
denied. Like, the ratio, I don't know, maybe like 15%
Mm-hmm.
less. So I was lucky to get that opportunity to come pursue my, the CPA. Um, um, so I got the visa. We came to San Francisco, me and my friend. We don't know anyone. He said, "No, wait, a friend of mine, his brother in the area. I'm gonna call him." So he calls his friend. His friend was struggling himself. He was in,
Mm.
kind of like living in a roommate situation with a bunch of friends. So he said like, nice to meet you guys. Let me know if you need anything, and that's about it. And now we don't have anyone. We
You're
don't
on your
have
own.
really a place. We have a week in Motel 6, and we're running out of money. We're running out of money very fast. Um, uh,
And you took the CPA exam.
Yeah, we took the CPA exam. The first try, we failed. The
Right.
first time was like, we're not even prepared, to be honest. I was like, if I get the visa, I'll worry about studying later on.
Right.
I wasn't even sure if I'm going to get the visa or not. I wasn't even prepared. So we both failed the exam. So that was like the first kind of like failure. Okay, well, I came to the state. Now I failed. I running out of money. I don't even have a place to stay. I'm like almost homeless.
Yeah.
We're not gonna call our families like, "Hey, I need money." Like they're gonna say, "Okay, you failed. Just come
Just
back,
come home.
study,
Yeah.
and then come back prepared again." Okay, I may not be guaranteed the visa again, so
Right.
I'm not coming back. I'm
Yeah.
not coming back. I still have time for my visa. I'm gonna try to find a job. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna pass the exam. And that's exactly what happened. One day we were sitting on a coffee shop, and we hear some guys talking Arabic, and we just you know start talking to them, and they start asking us where you from, all that stuff, and we told them we're looking for a job. We just came to the state, and they told us, oh, we work for this grocery store, and they're hiring. They're looking for guys like you, and we got the job. It was really obviously minimum wage, but we had to work maybe 12 hours shifts at the time, 12 hours. And in between, you have to also study. You have to study for the exam. And, if, the CBA exam was one of the hardest exams to pass. The failure rate is 55%. 55% of the
Wow.
people, they said they fail. And a lot of people, they giving up, they give up. 55% they fail. To pass the exam, you have to score 75% or more. It's not that if you score 60, you're going to know.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to 75%, and you have to pass at least two sections at the time. So it was kind of difficult. So
Yeah.
you need to study a lot. You need to be prepared.
And
But on top
on
of it,
top
you
of
have
it,
to
you're
work.
also an immigrant, right? Like
And
you're
it's
still
a
trying
migrant. This is
to
this is
get situated in this
got
new
its
country.
situation. Exactly. This is considered a second language for you. So you don't have that advantages.
You're at a disadvantage at this
I'm a
point.
disadvantage and
You have all the
big
odds stacked against
disadvantage.
you.
Yeah, a lot of people sitting for the exam, they're just coming from their family home.
Right.
The breakfast is prepared for them, coffee,
Yeah.
wish you good luck. They go to the exam, and still fail.
Right.
So for us, the day or the week before, we had to work. We're working, so to have to pay the rent, to eat. So it was a challenge to work 12 hours and study for the exam, the CPA exam, and sleep, very few hours. At the end of the day, we passed the exam, and that really did open doors for us. Being a CPA, certificate from the United States. Now it is the time to start finding,
A real job.
a real job. Uh, and I got my first job, second job, the third job in San Francisco was working for the city of San Francisco doing budgeting and forecasting for the Department of Public Health. Doing budgeting and forecasting for the city was great job, great experience. I got exposed to understand financials, doing budgeting, forecasting, um, meeting a lot of people, learning a lot. But I knew that eventually I want to start my own business. I want to work for a CPA firm, um, learn how to help small businesses or start my own. So I quit working for the city.
Mm.
My family, friends, they thought I'm crazy. You should have
Yeah.
stayed as a CPA. You one day you become the controller for the city. I was like, okay, it's not what I'm looking for.
I mean,
You
one of
know,
the major cities of the United States, too.
yeah, to become a controller. But there is stability. Obviously, working for the city, there's
Mm-hmm.
benefits. There's health insurance, 401k, everything. Uh, but the growth is not there. You don't make a lot of money too. Um, and my goal to work in the private sector. So after about a year and a half, I just quit and I left the city and I moved down to Los Angeles. I moved without even a job. I just decided to move. I fall in love with weather. It's similar to the Middle East, Kuwait. It's really warm. I want to live by the beach. I want to learn how to surf. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't really like in my mind like I'll find a job. I am a CPA. I
Right.
have good experience now. I'll find a job. And that was true. I moved and I found a job immediately. And I started building my career till the last firm that I worked for. It's a business and talent management firm that I worked for. I got lucky because I used to report to a very experienced attorney
Hmm.
whom I learned from a lot. I respect, and I was basically managing the entire accounting department, and I report to that attorney who is one of the partners. Then one day I went to that attorney. We're really friends at this point, and I told him, I want to start my own firm, smaller, boutique firm, and help with the clients that you're not helping. You don't really want it as a client. To you have bigger
Because they're
clients.
smaller clients.
Yeah, they're small clients. These not their type of clients.
Hmm.
To them, that's a C client, not an A or a B client. That's a C client. For me, it was an A plus client.
Right.
uh, so I explained that I wanted to help these clients. He did help me, and in fact, he did refer a lot of the clients
Oh, wow.
to me. Like, okay, just call Sam. He can help you. Call Sam.
That's very rare to have
Yeah,
your current employer help you with your like side
my
business.
startup business. They
Yeah.
even refer me clients. Didn't look at it as competition. It's not. And I kept the relationship with them. I kept. I was doing the same tax return even after I left. I
Hmm.
kept helping doing these returns for them, but as a consultant, and that did help me also financially because I kind of lost a job making at the time, you know, 2006, 2006, $250,000 was signing bonus to just leave that job, and now I need to support my lifestyle now,
Right.
I have expenses to cover. So, I started with like, the first client, second client, slowly grow the business to where, it is now today. Today we have over 800 clients. We have 22 accountants, professionals working for the firm, helping a lot of small growing businesses, entrepreneurs, talents make their dream come true. We
Yeah.
help them with everything, not only tax filing once a year. No, we help them, you know, from the basic bookkeeping to create financial model for them, help them to plan their taxes better, and then, file their taxes, make sure
Yeah.
they're in
No, I
compliance.
you have a very impressive roster of clients. It's very diverse. I mean, we have athletes, politicians, business owners, brand owners, and what I like most is that I've gotten to meet a lot of your clients simply because
Yeah.
you really become friends with your clients. You build
Yes.
like a very trustworthy relationship, a very close relationship with your clients, and it really shows. And I think I can tell they really respect and appreciate the guidance that you've been able to offer them.
Yeah.
um but I want to go back really quick because you mentioned whenever you began taking on your own clients on the side of your full-time job, it was also a risky time, right? It was like
Yes.
2006,
Yeah, 2006,
2007.
7, that's when I decided to start my own firm. But unfortunately, the financial meltdown of 2008 happened.
Right.
Um, 2008, the financial market crashed, the real estate crashed, everything. Um, I got scared, like now, oh, now this is the second big failure.
Mm-hmm.
But, the first time when I didn't pass the exam, I was running out of money, no place to
Yeah.
stay. I was almost homeless. Second time now, I quit a job making $250,000 to start my own, but then within a year, the financial crash happened. That means getting that small clients, my market, I'm targeting small growing business, startup businesses. And now it's harder than ever for startup businesses. The credit is not available. Banks, they don't give credit. Even if you have a credit, it's not used, they just take it.
Mm-hmm.
So credit is not available. The 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 financial market, it's shaky. It is harder than ever to start a business. And your existing customers, some of them, they had to close their businesses. They lost their business because of financial crash. So you have 20 clients, you lost half. So that made me actually work harder and find ways to work with my clients where instead of I lose the client, say, okay, let me help you
Mm-hmm.
and let's turn this business around. I negotiated my fees again with the clients. They come to me and said, Sam, I'm really suffering. The cash flow is tight. I can't pay you the monthly retainer we agreed on. Basically, I'm going to fire you. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, how about you pay me half? You pay me half of the fees. Really? Yeah, okay. I will continue to provide the services, half. And that really helped me and helped the client. Um, and we kept growing. Our revenue dropped a little bit, but we were able to replace it with more clients, keeping the same clients. And within a year or two, the financial market did the correction, and we went back to normal and growing the business. um, the lesson that during your lifetime, during your business, when you start a business, you start anything, you will find challenges and you will fail. You will fail. Everybody failed at some point, but failure shouldn't be a setback. You should learn from the failure. You should keep pushing and move forward. Um, every failure, it's a lesson. You're learning a new thing now. You learn a new thing, and you just keep pushing. You keep moving forward, and that's what I did. I thought the business is gonna fail, and I'm gonna go back to work for someone. I refused to do that, and I continued and worked with my clients, and we got clients, and we made it successful business.
Yeah, I mean, and even going back to whenever you mentioned failing the CPA exam and now, failing again as you're beginning your own firm, what are like, you're very confident. You're probably the most confident person I've ever met, to be
Thank
honest. That's probably why I married you.
you.
But what is the story that you were telling yourself in those moments? Because I feel like there are so many people, and I've even spoken to people who will tell themselves stories and they believe the stories they tell themselves. Like, I'm just not cut out for this. I should just quit.
Yeah.
I should just stop right now. This isn't meant for me. What are you telling yourself in those moments of trial?
Yeah, so to be honest, going back to my childhood, the way I grew up, um, you know, it's always a challenge. Growing up with five brothers, I learned to be a competitive. Growing up with boys, five
Gotta
boys,
fight your, yeah.
I have to compete, yeah, with everything. Moving because of the war from one country to another, moving to the state in your early 20s, 20 years old, being in San Francisco by yourself with like $2,000, and not just to live and play. You want to live, work, and also study and pass the CPA exam, one of the hardest exams to pass it, to start a business and to build. So I learned that you have to take advantage of what you have. Whether it's whatever you have, you just you know use it and try to make something out of it.
Hmm.
Um, Opportunities, they come to people, but they may not come again. So when you have that opportunity, take advantage of it and try to make something out of it. Don't take failure as the end of the route. That's it, I failed. Try to understand why you're failing, and maybe change that.
Yeah.
Okay, learn from it, and do something maybe a little bit different this time, and then you'll see yourself successful.
I mean, failure definitely builds confidence in the long run, and it should be used to propel you forward, not to hold you
Yes,
back.
actually, confident failure and confident helped my social skills, because to be honest, I grew up shy. I was shy. I
You,
was shy, believe it or not.
you shy.
Yes, I was kind of shy, kind of afraid, like not shy to talk to people. Um, but over time, I learned, and now I enjoy talking to people.
Hmm.
They come to the office or over the phone, and we just talk. With my clients, they feel they just can't talk to me about any subject. It's not because we don't charge for consultations.
Right.
Especially for new clients. So they don't feel like, okay, the time's clicking. 15 minute questions and answer, question answer. We talk about things like about your business, how
About life.
everything, and then because we're a smaller firm, I can build that relationship with my clients where it's based on friendship. Having a CPA, it's something very important, and you have to trust your CPA. If there's no trust, you can't work with that CPA. So trust is very important. We have our client, they have to trust us that we're trying, we want to make sure they're successful, because again, if they're successful, we are successful. If their business growing, we can charge them more fees, right? We make more money.
Yeah.
So with my clients, a lot of my clients, we build relationships based on trust and friendship, and they're friends now. And as you know, they come to our house, they visit, they know my family, I know their family, and if you have that kind of relationship, they're gonna stay with you forever. They're gonna be with you as a client forever. They're gonna even refer clients. We have a strong referral base. Our clients, on average, they refer 2 to 3. Each client refer 2 to 3 on average.
Oh,
Some
wow.
clients they don't refer anybody, but some they refer 5, 6, 7. So on average, we have a lot of referrals, and that shows that the client, they're happy, because if they're not happy, they're not gonna tell their family member or their friends, you should try this CPA.
Right. Well, let's shift gears once again. We have some questions that seek your expertise.
Okay.
So some, have to do with entrepreneurship, some have to do with taxes, some have to do with miscellaneous, but we're going to start off with entrepreneurship. When clients come to you, especially small business owners, what are the most common mistakes you see young business owners making?
Yeah, so a common mistake I see, they try to do everything themselves, right? So I understand it's a small business trying to do everything, but you always have to understand when is the right time to delegate, when is the right time to ask for help before it's too late. Um, for example, just because I'm an account CPA, from day one you should seek help from a CPA. That accountant, that CPA is going to help you a lot down the road. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Try not to do everything by yourself. Second mistake I see, a lot of people, they start the business with no roadmap, no vision, no budget. Budget, financial model doesn't have to be complicated. It could be like one page for the first year. Just put some numbers. Even templates available online. Even if you can't afford a CPA, you don't have a friend with that kind of background, you can do some research, try to build a budget for your business, set your goal. Here's my roadmap, and here's the steps to achieve that goal. Here's the steps, and then set deadlines and try to honor these deadlines. Here's the deadline, and I'm gonna do it by the first week, second week of my business. We're gonna finish this, and you commit to that deadline. Um, with us in our business, we have deadlines. Our business all deadlines, right? And we have to honor and commit to the deadlines. We can't just delay somebody's taxes and give them a good product. Say, okay, see, you're getting good tax return, but it's late. It's late. They passed the deadline and now they have to pay penalty. That doesn't, so
Right.
meeting a deadline is very important in any business. Um, what other mistakes I see? Small businesses.
What about taxes? Like, what are some tax mistakes or misconceptions about taxes that you see from clients that are coming to seek your advice and your help?
Yeah, so a lot of the clients, they wait and they only file because they're required to file. The government asked them to file, they're filing the tax return. But smart business owners, they should plan for their taxes, even though the government didn't ask you to plan for your taxes. They want you to stay dumb, right? But because you're smart, you want to plan for your taxes in advance. Planning your taxes will eventually save you thousands of dollars. Okay, we're gonna save you money. It's gonna, prevent penalties. Because you're not late. So you have to be proactive with your business. You have to plan for your taxes. You have to plan your business, the entire business. And planning start with basic bookkeeping. You have to maintain proper books. You have to know your numbers. And let's say, before year end, you realize you've made, 100,000, 200,000. On a 200,000, you're gonna end up paying 40% in taxes. Too much. What should I
Wow.
do? Maybe you do one, two, three. Few tax planning techniques will save you thousands of dollars. But you can't take advantage of these tax planning techniques without becoming proactive, maintaining proper books, seek help on time, timely, and not wait till it's time to file the tax return. You don't want to run a business where you're always trying to catch up. You're playing catch up. You need to be ahead of the game. You need to be ahead of the game. You have to plan for your business just like you plan your life.
So when you say tax planning, that's just an ongoing thing that should already be a part of your business.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct.
Not waiting until
Now,
there's a deadline
yes, a
and
lot of
doing
small
the bare
businesses.
minimum.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of small businesses, they don't understand the benefit of tax planning. Um, they don't know that it's applicable to them. It is, they should do it. They think they only have to file a tax return
Hmm.
because again, the government asks them to file. It's a requirement they file. But to me, I think tax planning is more important than filing the tax return.
Right. And this can also apply to, I mean, I know now we have a lot of like creators and people who make their money not necessarily from a business, but more of like a brand, right? Where they are
Correct.
the brand. And these rules can also apply towards these individuals as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So a lot of our clients, they're great talents.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them they're young, making $1 million. But if you're making money, but you don't know how to manage your expenses first, and generate a decent profit, then take a portion of that profit, save it and invest it. You're not accumulating wealth now. You just, you're just making, they look at the top line, they look at the top line, how much revenue I'm bringing. You can bring $1 million, but you overspend and you're not making any money. You're losing, or you're making only 50,000. I have,
Mm-hmm.
we have some, new client. They're making so much money gross, but they're not making any profit. So it's very important to focus on the bottom line. That's one thing. But also to focus on one bottom line without tax planning is also, you're paying too much in taxes. So you should focus on the bottom line, but also you should again plan your taxes so you pay less in taxes, and then whatever left after taxes, take a portion, put some into a saving account for liquid emergency, and the rest, whatever you don't need, invest it. When you invest, I'm not saying put it on a saving account. You
Mm-hmm.
need to look at, um, you know, and you can seek help because a lot of people, they're great with what they do, which is their business, running their business, but they don't understand investing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to maybe seek help from a financial advisor or from a wealth manager who can really help you to invest that money and accumulate the wealth for generations to come.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our audience, are MENA, like from Middle Eastern backgrounds or from the global South. A lot of us are first generation, second generation, the most, or immigrants. And so we didn't really have the opportunity to build that generational wealth, specifically in this country. And so, what is your advice to people that are looking to do that and not only just
Yes,
store their money and put it in savings, but actually let their money grow?
yes, that's very important. Exactly. So if you look at our generation or the generation before us, they just you know saving, meaning just put the money on this on the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's gonna lose value. It's very important to reinvest the money and look for the highest return, whether it's real estate or stocks. Um, I'll give you an example. You always have to look at the market and see where to invest, and always make changes to your investment portfolio based on what's going on in the market. A few years back, the interest rate was very high, but the stock market was shaky. So I took a lot of my money and bought CDs, bonds and CDs, because they're paying high interest rate. There is no risk. Now interest is dropping. Now maybe it's the time to take the CDs, bonds, sell them,
Mm-hmm.
exit, and buy real estate. Maybe real estate they're down now, buy some real estate. Go back to the stock market. So you always have to analyze your portfolio, again, whether you do it yourself or seek help from wealth manager. And then also, it's very important to to understand the risk that you can take. Your age, how close to retirement are you? If you're about to retire, maybe you don't have to go to a risk investment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And lose everything. So if you're still young, you can take some risks. So you have to look at the investments from how long I'm gonna keep investing, what is my retirement going to look like, when I'm going to retire, and just start building, that wealth. Um, I've also noticed a lot of our clients or people from our community, Mina, they make good money, decent money, but they spend it all. Maybe on things that is not that important. Maybe material things, just buying some toys, trying to show off. When you can still live good life, take nice vacations on few things, but also save some money and invest it. I really learned that because I grew up in a we were like middle class. We didn't have a lot of money, a lot of savings. So when I came to the state with like a couple thousand and I didn't have money, I really learned the importance of having a saving net. The same thing when the financial crash happened in 2008. A lot of Americans, they just spend what they make, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they spend what they don't even have. They live on credit,
They spend above their means.
above their means, and they live on credit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, about I would say I was reading 74% of Americans they live in debt. They have some sort of debt, credit card, car payment.
Mm-hmm.
They live in the 75%. And then if something happened, the financial market crashed. Now what? You don't have saving. You have
There's
all
no
these
safety
credit
net.
cards. And if you lose your job, it's a disaster.
Right.
So it's very important to start saving uh, today when you're still young.
Right.
Save money, invest the money. That's gonna help you to relax in the future, have a great retirement.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think a lot of these tactics were not just, they were not taught to us. They were not taught to our
Yeah,
parents or our grandparents. And as you referred to like the old savings tactics of like Middle Easterners, you just put the money under the mattress.
yeah,
So there was never an idea of like, well, let's actually invest this and grow the money as opposed to just saving it somewhere for a rainy day. Um, if someone were to ask you, or if someone's listening to this right now, and let's say they have like an extra 20 grand or 30 grand or 50 grand, and they want to invest it and actually have that money grow for them, what would you recommend right now? Like, where could they start?
yeah. So my recommendation is take that money and don't just all dump it in crypto, for
Mm-hmm.
example, and just lose it all, or buy risky stocks, all of it, and lose it all. So if you have extra 20,000, you know, you have to have some sort of money liquid saving for emergency. You know, if you don't want to just keep it on a saving account, you can have it on a checking saving account, some liquid money market. It's liquid, and then you can invest some maybe in the stock market, maybe later on when you have more money, buy a real estate, buy your first home. That's an investment. You invest buying your first home. That's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is diversify your portfolio and not put all your money in one risky thing.
Yeah.
Um, and seek help if you don't know how to build that portfolio. Seek help. Maybe find a good wealth manager to work with, and they're gonna help you to grow that wealth, preserve it, protect it. It's very important. You worked so hard to make that money, and now you're gonna lose it. You wanna make sure you protect the money. You protect the money. Protecting the money is very important.
That's a great point. And just going back to taxes also, right now our community and the world at large, like we see where our tax dollars are going, right? And we see that our tax dollars, unfortunately, are being used to fund a genocide and a
Yes.
lot of atrocities all over the world. there is this sentiment that I've seen on social media and elsewhere of, let's just not file our taxes, or let's just not pay our taxes because I don't want to be funding a genocide and I don't want to be funding the murder of our brothers and sisters overseas, which, is a sentiment we all relate to. It's very frustrating working and having the privileges of this country and knowing that our hard-earned tax dollars are going to fund the murder of our brothers and sisters in Palestine and elsewhere. What do you say to those people? Like
Yeah.
what can we really do about that as tax-paying citizens?
Yeah, I think it's a mistake not to file, not to be in compliance, because that's gonna hurt you down the road. Because if you don't file, um, the government will file a tax return for you, and it's not to your favor. So
Mm,
they know your income information. They have copies of your W-2s, 1099, everything. If you don't file, they'll just file your taxes and hit you with a large tax bill with penalties. Um, it is on the taxpayer to file the return, claim their deductions, their expenses, their write-offs, their credits. You have to file to claim, and when you file, you may not owe as much.
mm-hmm,
Now, if you file, if you're being proactive and you know in advance, you're gonna owe this much of amount of money, you can maybe donate to a charity that you support their mission instead of you pay the tax.
mm-hmm,
So you made $50,000 net profit. Instead of you pay $10,000 to the government because you don't support what they do, which I agree with that. Maybe you put that $10,000 you donate that $10,000 to a charity and take the tax deduction. So
mm-hmm,
now you are in control with where your money goes. Instead of you give it to the government, you give it to a charity that you support, whether it's local, a charity to help clean the homelessness in this country, a charity for healthcare, education, or a charity back home to help you know countries from the Middle East or MENA countries.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a really good point because it feels like we don't have control over our money when it's being used in that way. So that's a way to regain that control.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Something that again, I mentioned it earlier, you're very confident when you're very comfortable talking to people. And not a lot of people possess that quality. And to your advantage, it's also a quality that helps you sell. You're able
Mm-hmm.
to jump on a phone call and sell a client your services. You're able to sell an idea to someone. Everyone to some degree has to be able to sell, right? They have to be able to sell someone your idea, your product, um, you know, just whatever it is. And so how are you able to sell? How did you get really good at that? And what is your
Yeah.
advice to someone that maybe is not very strong in that department?
Yes, yes. To me, selling is not about trying to convince somebody to buy this product. Um, Selling is about try to listen to your clients, to their needs, what they're looking for.
Hmm.
By listening, you'll be able to sell them not one item, one thing. You will be able to sell them even multiple. I'll give you an example. So when the client they call the firm, they may be looking to file their tax return only. So why are you looking for a CPA? Why are you looking for a new CPA? Have you used the CPA in the past? I'll try to ask them a few questions. I'll have them talk. I'll have them talk. I'll have them talk. Then I can sell them now. They may tell me, my current CPA is too expensive. They may tell me my current CPA is not responsive. They may tell me I never use a CPA and this is a new business. I'm trying to file the tax return.
Hmm.
Based on that, I will now try to sell them. I'll be like, okay, you're here to file your taxes. How do you maintain the business books? Oh, I don't have books. Then I sell them the importance of maintaining books. They may say, I don't have the time to do it. That's why I didn't do it. I'm like, okay, but you can hire an accountant. It's not too expensive, and even though it's a cost, but eventually it's gonna help you to save a lot of money down the road because you maintain books. You didn't
Hmm.
lose opportunities. You planned your taxes better. You save thousands of dollars on taxes because you planned your taxes by maintaining your books. So I sell them services that they don't they didn't know that they need the service, or they didn't even know that that service exists, or they didn't even know that they can afford that service. They think that, they can't afford it, doesn't exist, they don't need it. Now they understand that they need it. It's very important. They can afford it, and they're like, okay, yeah. Then you make the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's very important to try to understand your clients and not you trying to oversell them. You try to just educate them. You give them some ideas. You educate them. Then they feel, okay, this is something I really need. Even the same thing if you're selling product, not necessarily services, products.
Right.
You're not trying to like just buy this product. It's good. It's good. It's cheap. You know. So first you try to educate the client, maybe about the product. Then they will just buy themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
But you mentioned like you let them talk first, so you're actually listening first. You need to find out what their needs are, and
yes,
then you're able to figure out what else you can offer them based off of what they say, basically.
correct. Yeah. So it's very important to listen, so you know how to sell your clients.
Mm-hmm.
You try not to oversell them, try not to overpush them. They're gonna come back to you. With me, it was also it's very important. I tell entrepreneurs, small businesses, professionals, the sale will come. Um, you may go to an event, or just you're going out, and then you meet someone, and then they ask you, what do you do, and you're talking, and suddenly after a month, after 6 months, you get a call from that person. Say, you remember I met you at this event? You told me your CP. Are you taking clients? You didn't sell them. You're not there to sell them, but you just talk to them. You give them some knowledge, maybe some tax advice, right? Free,
Mm-hmm.
being friendly, And now they came and, you know, they need your service. They called you. So the sale will happen eventually. Um, but you just have to be patient, and keep trying, and by giving people value.
Mm-hmm.
When you give them value, you know sometimes it's free. It's just you give them a value, they'll appreciate that, and now when they're ready to hire a CPA, they'll come to you because you did help them at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, they see the value in you. And then also, you never know who you're talking to. Like, you never know who that person could end up being. It could end up being a partner, it could end up being a client in the future, or even a friend. But you just have to initiate the conversation
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah, I mean, it's really rare that you and I go out somewhere, whether it's a social event or whatnot, and we don't leave without you getting at least like or exchanging
Few
numbers
phone
with at least a
numbers.
few people. You don't even like make it look hard. Like you're just very social. You just right away know how to present yourself when you speak to people. Do you have any advice that you could give people that might be more shy, more nervous, sort of lack the confidence to even initiate a conversation with a stranger?
Yeah. Don't just hide. Just go out, try to talk to people. Maybe the first event, you'll go with someone, right? Like a coworker, maybe a partner. You don't have to talk, just listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So second meeting, you'll go with someone, but now you talk, right? You talk. Third time you go by yourself, and listen and don't talk. Just go there,
It's really hard
listen,
for some of us to do.
and then eventually you're gonna go to events by yourself, and you listen and you talk, and you sell. And again, the sale doesn't have to be happening that moment.
Yeah.
It's just good enough that you've met somebody, you exchange phone numbers, and then try to keep in touch with people, and eventually they're gonna call you. They're
Yeah.
gonna come to your store, and buy from you. They're gonna come and use their services.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to nag anyone, but it's good to keep that conversation going and checking in on people here and there just to remind them of yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone is looking to hire a CPA or would want to speak with you and have a consultation, where can they reach you?
They can obviously go to our website, learn about the firm, the services we provide. They can call us. They can call the main office, which is 310-887-1313.
Wow, you got it memorized.
uh, yeah, we do provide free consultations to our clients, because again, we don't look at the immediate billing.
Mm-hmm.
We want the client to be comfortable. They get that free advice, And then when decided they want to use us, they can call
And
us with the
the
services.
consultation is with you, right? Like they're scheduling consultation to
Yeah,
speak with
most
the business
consultations.
owner and,
Yeah,
the
most
CPA.
consultations is going to be with me initially, and then it depends on the client, their need, the industry, the size. We, you know, all of our clients, they get assigned at least two accountants, two CPAs, and that's actually um, helped our clients a lot because I hear, from new client that, I'm trying to get hold of my CPA for now, 2, 3 months, and he's not answering, and then I'm like, I don't break it, but
We don't
maybe he's
have that
there.
problem, okay? At Jarrar
Yeah,
and Associates, we don't have that
yeah.
problem.
So you have two accounts assigned, one your primary and one secondary. Both they know your business, and they can help you. So if one person on vacation, they're sick, on leave, you get hold of someone else. So we work as a team. We try to make sure the clients are taken care of, um, um, so we can help them through all the.
Yeah. And obviously, if you've listened to the episode, you're going to hear us mention the website at the beginning of the episode and at the end as well. So, and it'll be in our show notes as well. So I
We
want to,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry. In terms of like helping the community. To be honest, what I feel, what I see is a lot of like our community, MENA. They don't try to support each other. If you have two attorneys, they're in the same area.
Hmm.
They're almost same pricing, but one, he's a MENA. Why don't you use that person? Why don't you
Someone
support
from
your
your own
community?
community.
Yeah, support people from your own community.
Yeah.
Let the money, you know, recycle within the community. That's how most minorities, try to do business.
And
Support black,
yeah, to
like
support, like, obviously you should always try to
Palestinian-owned
invest.
business,
Yeah.
small business.
And
You should
sorry, but
support
we
the
see that
business.
also a lot. And I think a lot of people have noticed it a lot more lately because we've noticed it obviously in Jewish communities here, which as they should support one another. And that's great. But we should also learn from that and adapt that into our own communities.
Yes.
And that takes effort, as you were saying. Like
Yeah.
we need to consciously make that effort and choose to support and work with
Yeah. In
MENA
our
and
community, we have
Arab-owned
great
brands.
we have great business owners. We
Hmm.
have great businesses. We have great doctors, entrepreneurs, attorneys, CPAs. You should support your community. Um, and again, even if it's if their office is a little bit farther, now these days there's no excuse. Everything is done remotely. That person understand your culture, understand how you think. It's gonna help you build your business better. It's gonna help you to save money on taxes. Um, you know, so just always try to support your community.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and that's kind of what this podcast was born out of. I've learned so much from you over, since we met and we've been married and built a life together. But you're someone who from day one has been extremely ambitious. I think that's one of the traits that I found very attractive about you is you're just a very ambitious person. I knew that you would always support me in any endeavors because
Yeah,
you are someone who constantly sets new goals for yourself and you're just a go-getter. And you have that same excitement and enthusiasm for all the businesses you work with. And, we've talked a lot about how we can contribute and, you have so much expertise that you're able to contribute into our community and really help MENA-owned brands and businesses grow. And that's what well rooted really, or
it's
how
all
well rooted
about.
really started, right? Like it's a place to amplify and provide a platform to MENA creatives, to MENA brand owned, brands and MENA owned businesses to help them grow and also give them the knowledge and expertise to really carry on in their journeys and grow that from whatever, the starting point is. And I really appreciate you not only supporting the podcast and sponsoring the podcast, but really taking it upon yourself to make a point that you want to help those brands grow. You want to help grow those businesses and to really partner with members of our community to make all
Yeah,
of those goals realized.
yeah. No, I'm really proud of you and the show. The mission is just great. Everybody in the show so far, and I'm hoping you will interview more of
Yeah.
our
No,
entrepreneurs.
everyone I don't say this lightly, and I've really like noticed this with every episode I've done. My guests have been consistently amazing. Like every guest has
They're
just
all great.
they've
Yeah,
contributed so much to the community through their interviews and through their insights. I have been growing and learning with every episode, which I'm very grateful for. But every guest from, our first guest, Lana Salah, to my guest today, which is you, I've had like the biggest
yeah,
honor and privilege to get to sit down and speak
yeah.
with
It's
everyone.
it's not, it's not on entertainment, but it's designed to educate, to
Inspire.
inspire, support each other as a community. If they come to the show and some listener, oh, I'm gonna,
Yeah, I'm gonna
you know,
pursue that as
I'm
well.
I'm
Or
gonna I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna, try to connect with this person because
right.
I like the way they're doing this or running their
Yeah.
business, and I want to support them.
And
So
that's
it's
the
it's a good way of connecting, the community together.
connecting together. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And also
empowering. Yeah,
empowering, and then identity. Like, we don't often get to see, you know, unfortunately, like representation is not always,
yeah,
great for Middle Easterners, right? Like, let's just be
yeah. We
honest.
we
But we really do contribute greatly to the economy in the United States
yeah,
and to the entrepreneurial spirit, especially in the
yeah.
United States.
No, as a percentage, I think you told me
Oh
in
yeah,
term
well we
of
have a post. If you go to Well Rooted Pod or at Well Rooted Pod, we do have a post regarding media entrepreneurship and the
yeah,
spending power that we as a community have, and it is vast.
the
Like it is
success rate,
huge.
the
Yeah,
the percentage of entrepreneurs, the business of small owners.
I think
Um,
it's like the largest, from what I remember, it's the largest percentage of entrepreneurship in any immigrant community is the
the
MENA
MENA.
entrepreneurial community.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
like it's a multi-billion-dollar spending power that we really need to be more conscious,
Yeah,
in our spending
that
power and how we spend
correct.
our dollars
And that money should be recycled within
within the
the
community.
communities. A lot of money that leaves the community that could be recycled within the community by supporting each other. A lot of businesses, they fail. I would say 24% of business they fail in the first year.
Hmm.
Um, about half they fail after 5 years, and believe it or not, 76% they fail after 10 years. So you know the businesses, it's hard to build a small business and maintain it and grow it and keep it for generations to come. That challenge also true for me in a community.
Yeah.
So try to support, your brothers and sisters with their journey, and so we will maintain great businesses for years to come, for generations to come, build that wealth for the community, um, and grow the wealth for the community.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for
you're
taking the
welcome.
time to be here today. Can't wait to have you
It's
on
a
again.
pleasure. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, talking points. Obviously, we can't cover
We can't
in
cover everything today, but there's
yeah.
so much that I know I'd want to have you discuss and go deeper into certain topics. So we'll definitely do this again whenever you fit me into your schedule. Thank you so
After tax
much.
season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. After tax season. That's how our life works. But thank you so much. Thank you for listening to another episode of Well Rooted. If you enjoyed today's episode and felt it brought you value, please subscribe, leave a comment, give us a like, and a review. This episode of Well Rooted has been brought to you by Jarrar and Associates CPAs. With locations across all of Los Angeles, Jarrar and Associates has been helping entrepreneurs and creatives make their dreams come true for over 2 decades. Go to jarrarcpa.com to learn more. This is Haneen, and we are all well rooted.